It's the KQ Morning Show. 92 KQRS.
I'm Steve Gorman. This is the KQ Morning Show. Good morning for Thursday, October the 24th. Let's get to it, shall we? Here's your top 5 at 6. The things you need to know as we approach the rest of the day. America's oldest living citizen has passed away. She was 115 years old. I'm not a mathematician, but that tells me Elizabeth Francis of Houston, Texas, was born in 1909.
Oh, yeah.
Good God Almighty.
President Taft.
Is that who it was?
Old Taft.
Oh,
that
man.
Son of a, I don't know.
Get him out of the bathtub. Isn't he the guy that got stuck in the tub?
Is he? I think you might be right.
I think that's that Little Feat song. I think Little George wrote a song about him once. 1909, which means she was around. She was 3 when the Titanic sank. She was, 11 when women got the vote. She was 60 when Neil Armstrong walked on the moon. Good God Almighty. That is a long run. Born in Louisiana, 1909, and yes, just as of this week, still kicking, no longer with us now. Naomi Whitehead of Greenville, Pennsylvania is your oldest citizen. She's 104, a paltry 114.
She's just a spring chicken.
Oh my gosh. They say the first person to ever live to be 150 has already been born.
That's what they say. That poor son of a gun.
You're not kidding. I'm just shy of 60.
Yeah.
And if you told me, hey, you want 90 more years?
Oh my God.
I don't think so.
No.
Based on how I feel at this very moment, no, thank you. Number 4 on your top 5 at 6. Oh my goodness! If you're a vapor and you were sucking down those Juul, 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 the Juul vaping company, they just settled a class action suit for $300 million. An awful lot of Juul vaporers. What do you call someone who vapes? A vapor or a vaporer?
Vapist.
Vapist. Wow, that's pretty rough. A lot of those folks woke up one day and went, hey, I'm addicted to Juul vaping now. And so, again, $300 million class action suit has been settled. If you were working through vape pods between 2015 and 2022 and you still have the receipts, and if you did sign up for this class action suit by February 5th, you're going to be in a little bit of money. A lot of people, one person on Reddit posted that Juul Venmoed them $9,200. They're
what the hell?
Yeah. Connell had a brief vaping period, as a high school kid in those years, like all of his friends. And he has one buddy who full on strung out on Juul vapes.
All right.
I mean, no question about it. Like the kid went sideways.
Is he cashing in?
I don't know. I don't know if he's a part of this.
Yeah.
But all I know is when that was going on, I heard myself say, just smoke a cigarette. True words that came right out of my mouth. Look, I'd rather you have a box of Marlboro Reds rolled up in your T-shirt sleeve than this, because at least I know how bad that is for you. I don't know what's in this damn Juul pod thing.
Old school. Money is what's in it.
Yeah, apparently so.
$9,200. I mean, God, finally. I mean, I think of all the vices I have, and this one I don't have, and this is the one that pays off big. Come on, man.
I tell you what, the way I feel right now, if I feel like the Guinness Company owes me at least $9,200. Number 3 on your top 5 at 6, the Shohei Ohtani 50-50 ball. This is the ball that he hit his 50th home run this season to go along with his 50 stolen bases. It's called so he's the first guy to ever go 50-50, and of course he went well beyond that. But the ball that left the park to give him the 50-50 has been sold at auction for $4.39 million for a baseball. For someone to put in a glass box in their basement and go, look, I got a baseball that I didn't hit, and I couldn't hit if you paid me.
Don't touch it. Don't touch it.
$4.4 million to do that.
Yeah, most people are going to go, so what?
Yeah, exactly. By the way, the identity of the new owner, the person who paid $4.4 million, is being kept a secret.
Yeah.
The identity of who sold the ball is still not for sure. There's a lawsuit pending to see who actually had the rights to auction it off. People are arguing, I have it. No, but it's mine. fine. It's mine. They agreed, okay, whatever happens, we'll put it up for auction. And the two people arguing over ownership signed documents saying, yes, and whoever buys it, whoever, bids the highest can have it. But we still don't know who's getting all the money.
Right. There was apparently some guy had it and another guy took it away from him. And there's some video of that, I guess. It's being contested. And, yeah. $4.5 million. I think I would have got in that scrum.
I'd throw hands for $4.4 million. Sure, why not?
Why not?
I mean, you're already drunk. It's late in the ball game. You're in the bleachers. Go for it. Number 2 on your top 5 at 6. Netflix is putting together a 2-part documentary. Wait for it, Ryder. Jerry Springer fights camera action.
Oh, nice.
Come on, who's a bigger Jerry Springer fan than Ryder?
Probably no one. I am going to be counting down the days till this.
I mean, how many hours of your life spent just with a Cheshire Cat grin on your face watching the Jerry Springer show?
One of my greatest regrets in life is that I never got to a taping in Chicago. I'm so bummed about that. Never got the Jerry beats.
Striking distance.
I am the father of the destruction of Western civilization. Look, my show is stupid. It has no redeeming social value. It's an hour of escapism. But at least our show is reality. What we call reality shows today.
All right, Jerry, thank you. All right, he goes on and on trying to justify that crap.
Died last April, sitting on a mountain of gold. Just printing money with that nonsense all those years. Jerry Springer sort of blew up around me. I wasn't watching a lot of TV. Yeah. And then one day I did tune it in, and I was like, I can remember thinking, like, what am I watching? Right. And everyone's like, this is like the biggest thing on earth. It's it is? Oh my God.
I assumed it was all staged, probably with, people from, acting classes or whatever, the community college.
Apparently not.
But I guess it was real
reality. You think those people knew how to act?
Yeah, like idiots,
Oh, well, anyway, the Netflix series will be out sometime January 7th. So just in a couple months from now, 2-part documentary. Make no mistake, I will watch it. I will say I don't care about that, and then I'll start it, and then I'll sit there and watch both episodes back to back. Tonight, your number 1. Oh, you know what? Before we go to number 1, let's just take a moment and say good morning to our friends in Cottage Grove. Can we do that?
Hey,
absolutely.
What's happening in Cottage Grove?
Monster Bash parade out there at 10 a.m. this Saturday.
Hey, really?
Yeah, they got a big the Strawberry Festival as their Monster Bash parade.
Very nice. Yeah. You gonna make an appearance?
I'm riding on the float. What do they call that? I'm the Grand Marshal.
The Grand Poobah?
Yeah.
Poobah. Number 1 on your top 5 at 6. Thursday Night Football. Let's go, Vikings.
Oh, the Vikings.
You've got the Vikings in LA playing the Rams. Tough season for the Rams. They're basically pulling the plug and realizing, this maybe next year.
Right.
So last night, Tony, you didn't make it, but Ryder and Brian and I all were at the Jack White Show at First Avenue.
That's right.
Several different times throughout the night, which I now, it seems like a month ago because that's how vague it already feels. Several conversations in the house about, are we going to get Matthew Stafford?
It's so weird.
This rumor that Matthew Stafford, the Rams quarterback, there's about to be a move where he's going to come to the Vikings.
How strange.
What a bizarre thing. You're 5-1. You'll probably be 6-1 in 12 hours, and we're going to get rid of Sam Darnold? Like, I don't know.
He lost the game.
I guess that's what it is.
We will not tolerate
He threw
losers.
a bad pick in the second quarter against Detroit, so get rid of him.
Bizarre.
It's interesting, but boy, that thing really took off. I mean, a lot of people talking about it. But anyway, tonight on the field, you've got O'Connell going up against McVay, a couple of young, hot, smart coaches. But I think the Vikings should be able to take care of business. I feel bullish about them getting back off the schneid after the home loss. We'll talk with Sam Ekstrom at about 8:25 about the game this morning. In the meantime, the Minnesota Wild are playing some hockey, and it looks like we got a couple tickets on the table, and we would love to give them away, so hang tight.
Connect with us on the KQ Talk and Text line. 651-989-ROCK. That's 651-989-ROCK. 92 KQRS.
Let's talk about November the first, next week, the Tampa Bay Lightning will be coming to town to play the Wild at the XL Energy Center. We'd love to give away a couple tickets right now. We need one caller, 651-989-ROCK. We're going to play a little game we call Twofer. We're going to see if you and a random fan of Iron Maiden think alike. We're going to give you 5 questions. Ryder was doing some work the other night at the Iron Maiden show, asking a listener some questions, and if you can match up with them, it's our version of, what do you call it? It's like a Family Feud or Husker Du, or it's one of those memory games. Hell, I don't know what I'm talking about. We're going to have a good time. We're giving away hockey tickets. Go crazy. 651-989-ROCK. Quick note here. We might get back to this. We might not. But by God, Jack White doesn't phone it in at all.
Oh, God, the guy brings it, man.
That show last night at First Ave. Jack White, famously of the White Stripes and then the Raconteurs and then the Dead Weather and then as a solo artist, he's arguably the most... he's like, in the last 25 years, he's the man. He's the biggest new rock guy that showed up in the late 90s out of nowhere, or Detroit, as it were. Yep. Hugely impactful, influential fella. And he's doing a tour right now where he announces his next show 2 days out.
Right.
So Monday, he was like, hey, I'll be at First Avenue on Wednesday. And they sell every ticket right away. You said yesterday there was one ticket on the second market going for $9,700.
That's right.
There were 9,700 people in the First Avenue last night is what it felt like.
I mean,
my gosh.
People on people's shoulders practically. They were stacked up. It was... it was nutty. I would think that was, and I'm just not at that age anymore where I bolt, through the crowd and get right up onto the rail or down to the stage. But I was with a young lady named Taylor Zepp who does that quite well. So,
oh, really? Yeah, nice.
She got a good view for us. But yeah, that's about as. I was like, God, man, on a Wednesday night, what the hell am I doing here?
Oh, boy.
They're so good at playing their instruments, though. It doesn't matter where you are. Like, you could hear from any place. You could feel how powerful it was. It was really cool.
I remember having the thought, it's Thursday morning. What am I doing here? And, boy, I'm feeling that way right now. But it was awesome. If I were a much younger man, if I'd seen that show when I was in my 20s, I wouldn't sleep for 3 days afterwards. I mean, it was exhilarating.
It was a great show,
Fantastic stuff. All right, we're ready to play a game. Tony, who have we got on the horn?
Our buddy Trevor from Stacy wants to play.
Trevor, good morning, sir.
Yeah.
How you doing, brother?
Good. How are you?
All right, good. We're all good on this end. Are you ready to play a game we call Twofer?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it. Okay, so here's what happened. Ryder at the Iron Maiden show was asking a KQ listener the other night a few questions. We're going to ask you the same questions, and we'll see how well you sync up. If you match 2 of his 5 answers, you'll win the Wild tickets. Are you ready, sir?
Yes.
All right, here's your questions. Number 1, what is a phone number that is useful to have memorized?
911.
That'll work. Okay, finish the phrase, keep on blank.
Trucking.
Yeah, baby. All right. How many beers is a lot of beers?
12.
Yeah. Name a big city in Canada.
Quebec.
And then finally, sir, what is something that you need to clear snow?
Can you repeat that?
What is something that you need to clear snow?
Shovel.
Oh, I thought you were going to say a teenager.
Yeah. So anybody else but me.
Right.
All right, Trevor, very well done. Now we're going to listen to see what Ryder. Who are we listening to?
So we actually chatted with Mickey. She is a KQ Morning Show super fan. And her favorite band is Bon Jovi. Her favorite team, Minnesota Wild. Here are Mickey's answers.
What's a phone number that's useful to have memorized?
911.
Bang.
Finish the phrase, keep on
Trucking.
How many beers is a lot of beers?
A case.
Name a big city in Canada.
Montreal.
What's something you need to clear snow?
A shovel.
There you go.
Yeah.
Nice job.
Yeah, that's
Man, Trevor, easy in, easy out. The first two sealed the deal. You went 3 for 5. That's as good as it's been on a 2-fer so far. Mm-hmm. You just got wild tickets for November 1st against the Lightning. Thank you, sir. Congratulations.
Sweet. That's awesome. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, you got it, man. You'll enjoy that. You gotta. Yeah. You're in the suite. You got the first and third period. The Wild attacking your end. Yep. It's going to be a good day.
Yeah, that's a good spot.
Awesome.
Yeah,
3-game winning streak currently. The Wild, I think,
haven't lost in regulation, I believe.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, just a couple of overtime losses.
These are the good old days. Is that what you're trying to tell me?
They'll never end.
Hey, you can find the KQ Morning Show podcast anywhere you get podcasts, anytime you want. Sponsored by our good friends at Davani's Pizza and Hot Hoagie.
Connect with us on the KQ Talk and Text line. 651-989-ROCK. That's 651-989-ROCK. 92 KQRS.
I'm Steve Gorman. This is the KQ Morning Show. It's Thursday, October the 24th. And while this show is the stuff of legend, there's been a few other things on this date in history we should discuss. On this day, October 24th, 1992, for the first time, a Canadian team won the World Series.
Hell.
Oh, what the hell?
Let them in.
The Toronto Blue Jays, thanks to a Dave Winfield, shout out St. Paul, 2-run double. In the top of the 11th inning in Game 6, they beat the Atlanta Braves to win the first of 2 in a row, I believe, Canadian World Series championships. Charlie Liebrandt was the Braves pitcher who, with 2 out in the top of the 11th, just hung one over the plate for Dave Winfield to smack in the winning runs. 6 months after that game, I'm at the Dallas-Fort Worth Airport. 5 a.m. I'm not hungover. I'm still just drunk. Waiting for a flight back to Atlanta where I lived at the time in the middle of a tour. And I'm sitting there with a couple guys from the opening band on our tour. And I see Charlie Liebrandt. He's waiting for the same flight. He's in the gate area. And I quietly said to the guys I was with, there's that scrub who hung that changeup over the plate so Dave frickin' Winfield could beat us in the series. By quietly announced, I mean I sort of yelled it because I was drunk. And Charlie Liebrandt, suddenly it dawned on me, oh, he's a professional athlete and he's huge. And he whipped his head around and was burning a hole through my skull with a death glare like the guy on The Boys. Yeah. Like Homelander. He would have melted my face if he could have. And I was like, he knows it was me. And then, of course, I just sat there like, maybe he'll stop glaring at me soon. No, he just stared at me for a good solid 3 minutes.
You didn't sit next to him on the flight?
No, and I was terrified of that, too. I was like, oh, my God, what if we're in the same aisle?
It's the KQ Morning Show, 92 KQRS. You're listening to the KQ Morning Show. Steve, Zep, Tony, and Ryder on 92 KQRS.
Badfinger will always put me in a good mood, I can tell you that.
Yeah.
Big fan of Badfinger. Originally called the Ivies. They were a band called the Ivies, and they signed to Apple Records. The Beatles label said, yeah, those guys are pretty good. And then Paul McCartney said, you guys are great. I'm going to write your first song for you. And they said, no, we're good. And he said, no, I'm Paul McCartney. It's 1969. You're going to do this. And he wrote that song, If You Want It, Here It Is, Come and Get It. And then he gave it to Badfinger. And they said, oh, thanks, Paul McCartney. And then he said, oh, by the way, your name's Badfinger, too. Hey, as long as we're talking, I'm going to write your first song, and I'm changing the name of your band.
Yes, sir.
It worked out well until it didn't. But, boy, left behind a lot of great music, that band.
Yeah, Joey Mullen around here.
Yeah, that's right.
Local dude.
Certainly is. It is Thursday, October the 24th. And if you could help me out, if a listener out there knows where I can fence this $700,000 worth of gold. No, I'm kidding. Did you hear about the heist at the Southdale Center? Sunday night, thieves snuck into Gift Jewelers. They went through cabinets under the register, like tunneled in, boring holes in walls from vacant stores next door. And they got away with $700 large in gold.
What a cool story.
Yeah, I mean, this is, nobody was injured, so there's that. $700 large. This is like an honest-to-God heist with plans and tools and power tools and disguises, probably. Fascinating stuff. You just don't think this is going to happen. I'm thinking to myself, was Ben Kingsley part of it? Was he running around yelling at people? Remember Sexy Beast, the jewelry heist?
Absolutely,
sure.
I'm just picturing this. Did anyone get in scuba gear? Was there anything? But you don't need all that to know that, seriously, Southdale Center, you walk through the mall, you don't think to yourself, someone's plotting a legit heist.
Yeah, no kidding. This is the owner.
Owner Omar Muhammad thinks they knew the layout ahead of time.
I mean, I don't want to say it, but I think it was in-house plan. I mean, some people has to know the floor plans. I think someone already been here. They may even taken some pictures. They know exactly what cameras goes where. They knew that.
Yeah, well, obviously they had to case it. Either that or they were trying to break into Orange Julius and accidentally ended up in the jewelry store. Oh, well, look at all this gold. Uninsured.
Oh, come on.
That's
unbelievable.
He did not have insurance and said the future of his business is now unclear. I'm sure it is. I've got insurance in my apartment. I have a recliner, a TV, a crappy old bed.
Yeah.
You meant to get around to it.
Yeah, I just didn't.
I didn't know that you could do that. I didn't know you could have a business operational without, in retail without having insurance.
Crap, man.
That is crazy. By the way, he said he thinks they've been in the store before. Yeah, it's because they're your employees, dude. Sorry to burst your bubble.
Right.
Inside job. Look a little closer inside, dude.
What's the store next to you?
Man,
what are they up to?
I mean, I'm trying to think. I hawked. I've certainly stolen things in my life as a kid. You know, the odd piece of candy, the occasional album where you'd go in and say, "Oh, I want to return this," and then you'd put 2 in the bag because the guy's not paying attention. Just juvenile malfeasance.
Yeah.
And the sweaty palms and the head rush and the "oh my god, I got away with it." I mean, that's kind of exciting. Man, digging a tunnel through walls in a mall that's closed and getting into the jewelry store. I mean, that's a whole. I truly can't imagine the thrill, the buzz, the high of that kind of a heist.
What if they all wore black turtlenecks?
I'm sure they did.
Well, you didn't have to. The store was, it was during business hours. His store was closed.
But the mall was open, right?
The mall was open itself, and there were some people looking around like they heard a couple of things happening because they cut through 3 walls. I mean, we watched the story on Fox 9, and they show the video at the store and the several holes they cut through, a couple of walls, came through a cabinet.
I've been in that mall several times. If I were walking down the hallway and I looked into a vacant store and saw guys drilling and had tools and all wearing cool black matching turtlenecks, I would just assume they were employed. I don't think I'd say, "Hey, what are they doing?"
Remodeling that jewelry store.
Yeah, the size of the balls to do that during business hours. Yeah. I mean, seriously, I get why nobody thought that was weird, because who in their right mind would do that?
So cool.
And again, the answer is, well, some of the employees of gift jewelers.
Yeah.
That's my second favorite heist story of the week. My first is actually from Cincinnati. A shoe store in Cincinnati called Soul Brothers, S-O-L-E.
Oh,
Soul Brothers.
Yeah.
Had a little bit of they had a rough week. About 3 a.m. A few nights ago, the owner of this store, again, Soul Brothers Shoe Store, got an alert on his phone. The security ADT has an alert. Hey, something's going on at your store. He wakes up, sees that something's happening, rushes in, and got there. He missed. There were thieves. There was a break-in. He got there. He missed them by about 15 minutes. 3 men who were captured on security cameras, not clear, you can't see their faces, but there's 3 people in the store. They stole about 50 clothing items, about a dozen pairs of shoes, and then 100 right shoes.
What? Why?
As in not left, but right. They just took, you know how they have the wall of shoes? You have 1 shoe from a pair on display?
Yeah, on display.
They just grabbed 100 of them off the wall. They left him with 100 left shoes without the match. And exactly, that's my kind of crime. I mean, yes, you're breaking the law, and yes, you're hurting a business, but at least give us something to laugh about. That's funny. 100 right shoes.
They're trying to fence those out. They got a right shoe for you.
I mean, I'm thinking to myself, maybe this is they could work with they could be working at the part of the hospital with the artificial limbs and whatnot.
Sure,
They
right,
just
exactly.
I just need some right shoes over here.
Right shoes.
It's pretty great. That's again, if I'm ever going to turn to a life of crime, I hope I have a little bit of charm and fun with it like that. No. What do you have 12 pairs? Put those down and just grab the right shoes. Let's get out of here.
That's your signature move.
Yeah, we got the owner here again.
We probably had between 60 to 80 pairs of used on here roughly, I'm going to just close. Like, literally, I was done with it. Like, after this break-in, I was like, I'm done. I just want to close. It seems that, that they might have been drunk and just came in here on a whim, but I really don't know. Realized that they took almost every other shoe to a lot of the pairs that were on the wall.
You have a sense of forgiveness for these people.
I've been moving closer, to God, and could be mad every day, and I'm still upset, but I don't want to carry more hate in my heart.
All right, well, good for you. Do you have a left shoe sale then?
I could be. I just, as long as the owner doesn't carry on with hate in his heart, then it's a victimless crime, right? That's exactly that. It's the perfect crime.
When you find that one shoe on the side of the road, there's always just one shoe on the side of the road. I guess, then you can go find its match, I suppose. The hell?
But wait, there's more.
What now?
I said that was my favorite crime story of the week, but I might have a new favorite. This just in, Canada has got a problem.
What now?
Butter thief.
What?
Butter thievery ring. That's right, a butter thievery ring. Canada is being overrun by butter thieves. 7 large-scale butter thefts over the past 10 months up in Canada. It's a town in Ontario called, I've never seen this, Guelph. Guelph. I don't know how you say it. Guelph? Sounds like a
pretty sounding town.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, I was born in Ontario. Just call it phlegm and get it over with. Over the past 2 weeks in Guelph, 2 large butter thefts, different grocery stores. People are taking cases of butter, like $1,000 each, roughly, each time.
Yeah.
Getting in, they put all the butter into a cart, and then they just walk it out the back of the store. Is there a looming butter shortage I'm unaware of?
Selling it on the street? I know a guy.
7.
Get you some butter, real stuff.
This is the 7th butter heist in this town in the last 10 months. Yeah. Again, this is just a sense of humor. This is just bored. Somebody's bored and they're like, let's just steal something random and make butter. Let's get some butter. That butter's just sitting in a river somewhere. They're not putting it to good use.
Put it out on the streets anyway. Let some cars slide around a little bit, I guess, or I don't know. Yeah.
The butter thing, I'm just trying to think. I told the story once of the hot dog bun heist I was a part of in college.
That's right.
The delivery to the football stadium before a weekend, it was just cases of hot dog buns left in the parking lot at midnight, and someone saw them, and the word went out, get over to the stadium parking lot, let's get some buns. And we ended up with like 6,000 hot dog buns back in the dorm.
Yeah.
They'll last.
For weeks. It was just like we were eating, everything was on a bun.
Bring your own hot dog parties.
Hey, you making mac and cheese? Here, put it on this bun. And this is the amazing thing about this. And a university, when 6,000 or 7,000 hot dog buns go missing, we never got busted.
Yeah.
How's it possible? You know how many people knew? Hundreds. There was a whole floor of a dorm where everyone had cases of hot dog buns in their room.
The bun men.
And we just all, for several weeks, and then one day it was kind of like, yeah, they're probably all turning. Let's just get. And we threw thousands of buns away. It's insane. So I get it. I get it, butter thieves. There's fun in grand larceny or whatever you would call that.
But it's continuing. It wasn't just a smash and grab. This has been going on for months.
Man, totally. Seriously, 7 heists in 10 months of butter. That's good stuff. As far as I'm concerned, that's great stuff, actually.
Too bad you bun thieves couldn't got together with the butter thieves.
Right.
Can you imagine little toasted sandwiches like that? Just they're so perfectly when you just get the right amount of butter on there and don't overdo it. Brooklyn Park, good morning to you and yours.
Yeah, Brooklyn Park. How are you?
God damn.
I got nothing.
Damn straight. Happy to have our listeners in Brooklyn Park with us. You know what to do. By the way, I got an interesting term, a new term I want to share with you, and I'll explain it. Chaos packaging. Chaos packaging. Hang tight.
Connect with us on the KQ Talk and Text line. 651-989-ROCK. That's 651-989-ROCK. 92 KQRS.
I'm Steve Gorman. This is the KQ Morning Show. Lay a little Mitch Hedberg on me, will you? There's that producer.
I think Pringle's initial intention was to make tennis balls. But on the day that the rubber was supposed to show up, a big truckload of potatoes arrived.
Mitch Hedberg right there. Yeah, Pringles, tennis balls, potato chips, whatever it takes. Chaos packaging. That's what we're talking about. It kind of checks out there. It's a hot new marketing ploy. This is actually a thing that companies... who sits around and thinks of this crap? Highly paid, college-educated people, I suppose.
I was going to say, I'm sure they have, entire floors and big buildings dedicated to this kind of stuff.
Chaos packaging. It's when companies will sell products in a container that they wouldn't normally go in. I mean, I guess you could say Pringles... at first, like whoever put potato chips in a tube like that.
Yeah.
But the chips fit in there. It made sense. I'm not talking about just that. I'm talking about this. There's a brand of sunblock called Vacation, but they sell their sunblock. It looks just like whipped cream. They call their sunblock Classic Whip. Oh. And it's SPF 30, but it comes in what looks like a tub of, it comes like a can of Ready Whip or in a tub of whipped cream. They put it so you think it's whipped cream. It's sunblock.
Oh, man, we're coming right up on Thanksgiving, too. The pumpkin pie. You don't want to screw that
It's
up.
already so gross. And then you're going to put sunblock on top of it?
Pumpkin pie?
Ugh.
You think is gross?
Yeah.
It's pumpkin pie.
Okay.
Wait, hold on. You don't like pumpkin pie?
No.
She doesn't like any... Do you like pie?
I like pie, yeah.
Yeah, what's your go-to pie? Rhubarb? Are you a rhubarb?
What was it like as a child in Russia?
Yeah.
Don't like pumpkin pie. What in the world? It's the only pumpkin thing worth... I hate all the pumpkin stuff except pumpkin pie.
Yeah.
Right.
Don't put pumpkin in my coffee.
No,
Stop
I saw
it.
pumpkin spice WD-40. Was that chaos packaging? God, what the hell? Enough is enough. Yeah, all right. All right, so you've got that one.
If you see something called Classic Whip and it looks like it's a can of Ready Whip, it is. It's got the top. No, it's SPF 30. It is not it's not something to put on top of your tasty dessert. There's a company called Flo, F-L-O. They sell tampons.
Sure.
They sell their tampons in ice cream tubs. They pack them in ice cream tubs, and people have put them in freezers. Like you're unloading the groceries, and apparently, I'm not making this up, they have reported like, oh yeah, people say, oh, my husband saw that and he didn't even look, he just put it right in the freezer.
Oh, how pissed off would you be? And you get up in the middle of the night and pull open the ice cream tub, and
not as pissed as the woman who needs a tampon and finds one that's freezing.
Worse than a cold shower. I can't even imagine.
Yeah, no kidding.
There's a liquor brand called Engine. They sell gin, and they sell it in motor oil cans. They put it in motor oil cans.
Oh.
This is truly a thing. Chaos packaging.
I just want to work for Chaos. That would sound so cool.
Yeah, it sounds like an evil network, like, Spectre.
Puracy is a cleaning product brand. They sell soap refills. It looks like a soda can. I mean, they had to change. They did change it. Parents reported their kids were opening it and taking sips.
Oh, yeah. They didn't go with the household cleaner and the kid's sippy cup.
Yeah, what in the world?
Super glue in the eye drops bottle.
Yeah, a lot of these, but it works because it's just to get attention. The whipped cream sunblock company, Classic Whip, they say they get about 5 million views on TikTok every week. They're just trying to get attention, and it certainly is working. I was always surprised. Liquid Death, which is water.
Yeah,
I saw cans of Liquid Death. I'm not kidding. For several years before I knew it was water.
Yeah, I had no idea
I
either.
assumed it was a hard seltzer, or I just assumed it was something
like an energy drink or something.
An energy
like that.
drink or something that was spiked. One or the other.
Yeah.
And I remember looking at one and going, water? What the hell?
Yeah, they were giving them out at some music festival I was at this summer out at Harriet Island, and so they were just giving them out for free. I went Liquid Death, and I kept saying no.
Yeah.
And then I was looking around for a bottle of water, and someone said Liquid Death. I'm like, is water? And I thought, man, it was just damn water.
And then badass hydration.
And they sell it.
I know.
Yeah, and then they sell it in those tall boy cans too, which really threw me. Something's working because the company was recently valued at $1.4 billion for water.
I wish someone was putting water in my beer cans last night. Man, it worked out a little bit better for me this morning.
It certainly would have made more sense.
Yeah.
Pepperidge Farm is getting in on it a little bit. Not exactly chaos packaging, but Pepperidge Farm Pepperidge Farm remembers. Goldfish crackers, right? That's their go-to. That's the staple. I don't ever eat goldfish crackers because I can't stop. I'm not kidding. If you open a bag of goldfish crackers, I will eat every one of them.
Right.
So I don't even go there. I just won't look at them. They now have done a little bit of rebranding. They're selling limited edition bags of Chilean sea bass crackers. They're saying goldfish are for kids. If you're a more refined adult with a more refined palate, you'd prefer the Chilean sea bass.
Here's that.
It's come to our attention that some people think goldfish crackers are just for kids. Well, what if we call them Chilean sea bass? They look just like goldfish. They taste just like goldfish. Except they're called Chilean sea bass.
Oh, that's clever.
It would have been
sea bass.
You know what? I'm not going to buy. I'm not going to have any of those. But if they had the stones to call it instead of Chilean sea bass crackers, the Patagonian toothfish crackers, which is what Chilean sea bass is. You know, that's a whole other example. There's no such thing as a Chilean sea bass. It's a made-up name because Patagonian toothfish doesn't sound too appetizing.
No. Put that on a menu.
Patagonian toothfish. Put that on a cracker, and I'm all over it, man.
Right.
Make no mistake. Speaking of which, quick diversion. I just saw yesterday on the news a woman from Italy, a professional surfer, was in Indonesia surfing, and a spearfish leapt out of the water and impaled her, killed her instantly, right in the chest.
Whoa!
Yeah,
What are the odds?
like a 1 in a trillion. Yeah, a swordfish just leapt out of the water, and the bill went right through her chest, and she was gone. Before she hit the water, they said she was gone.
Holy hell!
The absolute craziness. I mean, there's chaos packaging, and then there's chaos surfing. I think that's what that would be.
You're a legend, but a dead legend. I mean, that's
brutal.
What are the odds of that happening? That's I know a guy, Jared, got a black eye from one of those jumping carp out in the river.
Oh, I don't.
Hit him in the face. Not the same thing.
I'm still traumatized by that video I saw. You're like, hey, look at this video of these jumping carp, and I couldn't sleep that night. Never getting on a little boat in a river again.
Here I am, like a sucker using a fishing rod. They just jump right in your boat for you.
Back to the goldfish cracker. I did not know this. They debuted in 1962. They were originally meant for adults. It wasn't like a kid thing at all. They marketed them as a snack for bartenders to just put on the bar. They were. That's where they first served goldfish crackers, in bars.
I've been to a bar before, and I don't ever remember seeing goldfish crackers on the bar ever in my life. Yeah,
bars in the day, you know, there'd be a little peanut thing, a little pretzel thing.
Pretzels, yeah.
You know you're in trouble when you're sitting at the bar and you've had so many drinks that you find yourself just going after the olives and the orange garnishes. And the guy turns his back and you're grabbing more of his garnishes.
Got to flip the lid open.
Yeah. Oh, I've absolutely done that. And and I got busted for it at an O'Charlie's restaurant. Sitting at the bar at sitting at the bar at O'Charlie's. What a sad story that turned out to be. Yeah, that was calling a friend. Oh, come get me at O'Charlie's. I'm getting yelled at because I'm eating all the olives.
Steve.
Those were heady times. Thanksgiving is coming up very soon, and our good friends at DiGiorno talk about chaos packaging. Talk about what the hell is wrong with us as a people. Thanksgiving pizza is coming back. DiGiorno has the holiday pizza pie, mozzarella and cheddar cheeses, turkey and gravy, green beans, crispy onions, and cranberries on a frozen pizza.
I don't get that.
Yeah, I don't either. Yes, I would eat it, of course. But
it sounds gross.
I'm not going to go out of my way to get it, but yeah, I would. I'm sure I would end up eating it.
I can speak right now, quite plainly and honestly, that I would eat, I think, anything you put in front of me at this very moment. Yeah. My body's telling me that's my. I need to read. Last night was a heady night for all of us.
Yeah.
If you're just joining us, three of us went to the Jack White show and had a good time.
Yeah, we did.
And right now, as disgusting as that Thanksgiving pizza sounds, I'd eat the hell out of it.
I got up this morning and there was a half-eaten piece of pizza on the counter, and I had no idea I had pizza in the house. I was like, what?
These things happen.
Did that
there you go.
I think someone broke in and left a half a piece of pizza on my counter.
That happens. Yeah. I can't tell you the number of times I've woken up and been like, who left this Taco Bell bag here? That's ridiculous. What the hell? What kind of prank is this?
And one right shoe.
Yeah. That's it. It's all about the right shoe.
Tunneled into my apartment.
Man, I tell you what, that really was. I'm truly. I'm buzzing. I don't go to shows that often when it's because the crowd. It was so packed in First Avenue last night.
No kidding.
And I get in there and I do. I mean, I thank my lucky stars when I get to a room like that because I'm like, okay, at least I'm tall. I mean, I have a better shot than a lot of people of finding a crevice to look through so I can see the band. And I was thinking, I'm second guessing it before they start. Like, man, I don't know how long I'm going to last. But the show was so great. The band is killer. My buddy Patrick Keeler, the drummer, just outstanding. And then Jack White comes out, and it's Madison Square Garden to him. I mean, it's like First Avenue's a legendary club, but that guy puts on a show like he's playing the Hollywood Bowl. I mean, he just goes for it.
Yeah.
And I within 2 songs, I stopped thinking about how completely sardined I was into that room and just had a great time.
Yeah, same thing. I thought, well, I'll catch a few tunes, and then the damn thing was over.
Yeah. It's a funny thing about rock music. It's awesome.
It's really good.
Go figure. I mean, every now and again I have to remind myself, rock music? Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, it is.
I absolutely love it. On the show, in about an hour, Sam Ekstrom is going to join us. We'll be talking Vikings. They got a ball game tonight. Thursday night football, they are out in L.A. playing the Rams. But right now, let's prepare ourselves because Golden Smog is playing First Avenue November 15th, and we would love to give away a couple of tickets. Hang tight.
It's the KQ Morning Show, 92 KQRS. It's the KQ Morning Show. Steve, Zepp, Tony, and Ryder on Minnesota's classic rock 92 KQRS.
I'm Steve Gorman. This is the KQ Morning Show. It is Thursday, October the 24th. Brian Adams, summer of 69. My summer of 69 was the summer of 1981.
1981, yeah.
That's when the lights came on. You know what I mean? That's when everything happened.
Yeah, that sounds about right. It was early 80s for me, I remember.
Yeah. Just, when all of a sudden it's kind of like, it's kind of cool being an older dude and,
driving around.
Experiencing things.
Necking.
The lights came on, as they say.
Right.
But I remember hearing Summer of 69, probably the first time or the second time I ever heard that song, and just thinking, and by God, that's a hit song right there.
Yeah.
Just like, I'm like, well, that song's just going to be around forever. Yeah. It was just instantly. He had about 9 of those in a row.
Had a chance to interview him one time and asked about his. I said, so that was that autobiographical, that summer of 69? He said, oh, no. He goes, I didn't have a summer of 69. That was actually 1969. He said, but it just really sounded good in the song.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, in 1969, he was probably like 9 or 7 years old. He's like, no, that would have been a little odd.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. We've got to talk about the fact that Golden Smog is playing First Avenue November 15th. And when I say Golden Smog, I mean that's a great band, great rock band. And this time around with yours truly on the drum kit.
Only getting better.
Looking very forward to it.
Yeah.
And we'd love to give away some tickets. Why not right now? Give me a couple of callers, 9 and 2 on the KQ Talk and Text line, 651-989-ROCK. We're going to play a little game. We're going to give away some tickets. We're going to have a good time because that's how we roll. Bing, bang, boom. And I should mention, and I'm sorry to say I forgot, Zepp, Saturday from noon to 2, you're going to be at AC Nelson RV World in Shakopee.
That's right. I am going to be down there. Bring the kiddos. They have the costume. And, of course, there's the one at school, and then there's the big day next Friday. But bring them out for the costume, the kids' costume contest with some cool prizes out there from noon to 2. And because they want to wear that sucker as many times as possible. Think of it as sort of a dress rehearsal. You're going to find out, can they breathe in it? Is something going to fall off? Yeah, you got to, before the big day, you don't want that, just roll it out at that day or at class with all their friends. Bring them out to RV there in Shakopee.
AC Nelson RV World, noon to 2 for the Spectacular Trade event. They do have the Haunted House on wheels, and there's going to be a shot at winning concert tickets and a lot of 92 KQRS swag. It's going to be a good time.
I'll be dressed up as the burned out DJ. Probably wearing a flannel. Probably.
Oh, boy.
Hey, it's flannel season now.
Hey, man, it sure is.
You know.
Here's a fun fact. My wife, a few years ago, in a fit of pandemic, losing her mind, buying crap for no good reason, bought one of those vacuum pack sealer things, like a bunch of bags and a little vacuum. And of course, I'm like, why would you get that? Oh my God, I'm gonna vacuum pack everything. I love that damn thing. And so this spring, just saving room in the closet, I was like, oh, wait, all these heavy shirts and stuff I'm not going to wear for a while, I'll vacuum seal them. And I did. And I looked up in the closet today. I'm like, it's time to undo the vacuum pack. I got all excited. I got all these flannel shirts and all that stuff. And I'm like, all right, now maybe I'll vacuum pack all my T-shirts. It's ridiculous. I went in 13 seconds from why in the hell did you buy this to get out of the way. I'm packing.
Anyone ever do one of those label makers?
Oh my God! Are you kidding?
Phase?
Yeah. When the old school when we were kids, like the dial, turn the dial, and
click. Yeah. Mom labeled everything.
Oh my God, we went berserk with one of those one year, and it would just everything. And my brothers Dave and Doug and I, we shared a bedroom, 3 of us in one room,
right?
And every drawer on the chest of drawers, everything had a label, like the Little League trophies. Doug, like, don't touch my trophy. I got my name on it. We went nuts with that damn thing.
They'd only lasted a couple days though before they become unstuck.
Right. Oh yeah, of course. Yeah. Then you just got labels laying around everywhere, not sticking to anything. What if the dog eats those? Clean up your room. All right, we got a couple people locked and loaded. We're going to play a game. I'm very excited. Tony, please tell us what we're playing today.
Well, I hope they're excited to play this as well. Yeah, there's so many choices, so much scrolling. With so many choices for entertainment consumption, you have to be selective. So we present this fine game. We're going to give you a title and a brief description of the plot. Then you tell us, is it an actual movie that has been seen or can be seen on a streaming TV platform, or is it just made up? TV or not TV? That is the question.
I like it. Let's get to it. Tony, who is contestant? First of all, are we going back and forth, or are we going one contestant at a time?
Let's get 2 of them fired up at once.
Yeah, I love it. All right, who's contestant number 1, Tony?
All right, number 1 is Darren from Coon Rapids.
Darren, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Give me your favorite band.
Motley Crue.
The Crew. Give me your favorite team, any sport.
Skol Vikings.
There you go. I like it. And contestant number 2, who we got?
Dos is Mike from Lakeville.
Mike, good morning.
Hey, good morning.
Give me your favorite band.
Favorite band?
Led Zeppelin.
There, boy. Favorite team, any sport.
Gotta be the Minnesota Vikings.
Hey, yes, it does. It's gotta be. All right, fair enough. Darren and Mike, the game is TV or not TV. Good luck. Tony, take it away.
All right, fellas, going to give you a brief description and title, and you tell us, is that an actual TV presentation or made up? Okay, number 1, Norm and the Swarm. A quiet neighbor who kept to himself shocks the quiet of the suburbs and attracts the attention of special forces when he unleashes the power of his army of intelligent and deadly bees who serve at his command.
Ooh, Darren, what do you think?
Made up.
Correct. No such animal.
Oh, boy.
Good
Not
call.
yet.
I
Not
like
yet.
the pitch, though.
I tell you what, every time we do this, I think Tony's just printing gold
I
over
know,
there.
man.
He's just making up great content. All right, good job, Darren. Mike, you're up.
Mike, Robin and the Seven Hoods. Set in Chicago during Prohibition, a band of gangsters turns the table on a greedy bootlegger, taking the profits from a big score and donating the loot to an orphanage because they're crooks with soft hearts.
TV.
That is correct. Wow. 1964 with Dean, Sammy, Bing, Sinatra, and the Rat Pack.
What was it called?
Robin and the Seven Hoods.
Oh, my God. That's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well played,
64.
gentlemen.
I was born in 64.
Okay.
Right on.
Congratulations.
When's your birthday?
Yep, the big
August 4th.
6-0.
August 4th, 64.
Yeah.
Right.
What's your favorite color?
Welcome to your 60s, man.
Hey, we got ourselves a Leo on the phone. All right, we're back to Darren for round 2.
Darren, yours is Captain Ron. A nerdy dad inherits a yacht, but has no boating experience, so he hires a captain to sail he and his family back to Miami. But the rogue captain's anything goes hilarious antics get the family into plenty of trouble.
TV.
That is real. With 1992, it was Kurt Russell wearing an eye patch, Snake Plissken style.
Right.
You know what? When you said, I never saw it, but you said Captain Ron, and I was like, I pictured Snake Plissken, and I was like, why did I have that thought? Yeah, I mean, I just pictured Kurt with an eye patch and thought it was, so somewhere I must have seen the trailer once or something and somehow remembered that.
That wasn't the one then with Goldie, where she had
that was
Goldie Hawn.
That was Overboard.
All right.
Every woman's
Overboard.
favorite movie of all time.
That's where they met and fell in love.
Is that true?
Yeah. Well, that's
nice.
so I've read.
Huh.
Who knows?
All right, let's go. We're ready for round 2 with Mike.
Mikey, Sliced and Diced. A new take on the slasher horror genre as the chef and bartender of a healthy cafe specializing in nutritional salads and bowls decides to lure customers into the back prep room where they violently become the secret protein source on the menu.
Sounds like Motel Hell, but I'm going to say not TV.
Wow.
Yeah.
Correct.
You got to get up early to sneak one by Mike.
To test me. I ate his liver with some fava beans and a nice Chianti.
Yes.
Now, hang on. Would fava beans? Would you go with a Chianti with fava beans? I think not.
No, a grain belt probably.
Yeah,
exactly right.
Odd choice too.
All right,
Premium
Darren.
grain belt.
Yeah. I was just talking about that with someone last night. I ordered a grain belt and they go, premium? I'm like, yeah, give me the premium. I'll have the good stuff, the top shelf.
Yeah. All right, Darren, round 3.
Oh, boy.
Darren, next up is Meet the Deedles. 2 hip Hawaiian surfer dudes are forced to be sent to a Wyoming summer camp or they'll be expelled. They take jobs as wilderness rangers to impress a sexy lieutenant, which leads to zany adventures as the Deedles battle prairie dogs, roaring rapids, and rescue Old Faithful from an evil ex-ranger. TV or not TV?
Come on, man. TV.
Come on, man. Yes, it's from 1990.
That's too weird to be real.
1998, Paul Walker and Steve Van Wormer were in Meet the Deedles.
Whatever happened to old Steve Van Wormer? Never heard of him.
No. Paul Walker,
man.
not with us anymore, right? Wasn't he the guy?
Right, he crashed.
That's right.
Yeah.
Crashed and burned.
All right, next up is... Who's up next? Is
Mike's up.
Michael. Mikey, Wiener and Beans. Ad executive Josh Wiener and legal assistant Betsy Beans Kelly meet online and begin a 15-year relationship that covers 7 states, 2 marriages, 4 children, a failed bookstore, and a time-traveling camel. It's a romantic comedy that defies description but causes happy tears.
Wow. Not TV.
God, you guys are nailing it. It is not.
I love watching Tony try really hard not to laugh when he's reading some of those.
Time-traveling camel.
Yeah.
All right, I like it.
Could happen.
It could. I'm just thinking, finally, time travel. Who doesn't want to travel in time? A camel? I got to get on a freaking camel?
Well,
oh, my God.
They adapt.
What about the DeLorean?
They wouldn't fit, you idiot.
That's right. Sorry.
All right, Darren.
Yeah.
Diner. Childhood buddies grow up in Baltimore to do little but hang out at a local joint where they eat French fries and trade stories about their lives. Their funny and revealing conversations and exchanges help each other face the mounting responsibilities of adulthood.
Oh. I'm going to say TV.
Yeah, it's real. 1982, directed by Barry Levinson.
Fantastic.
Oh, yeah, love it. One of my favorites. Steven Guttenberg, Mickey Rourke.
Daniel Stern,
Paul Reiser.
Most importantly, Ellen Barkin.
Yeah.
Oh, she's very sexy.
One of my top 10 favorite Steve Guttenberg movies.
Yes. Oh, there's so many.
Oh, man.
Also, Kevin Bacone was in there.
That's right. Bacon.
The Bacon Boy.
Right. Yeah. No, Diner's fantastic.
Mm-hmm. All right, this is the last one. The Color of Esther's World. A blind woman refuses to sit idle and pursue a new career as an abstract painter until the pandemic shuts down her art supply connection. Everything changes for the better, and new visions emerge when she finds and puts on a magic apron. TV or not TV?
Oh, boy. I got to go not TV.
Yeah, right. No magic apron at all.
I mean, I'm sorry to keep beating this horse, but Tony, get to Netflix. Go. Just create shows. My God.
Would you rather have a magic apron or a time-traveling camel?
Combine the two.
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't want to get greedy.
Man, that's outstanding. Well, Darren went 4 for 4, and then Mike had the balls to go 4 for 4. And now we find ourselves in a tiebreaker. Gentlemen, this is how it works.
Man.
Tony's there's a lot of mans this morning.
Oh, boy.
Tony's going to ask one question, and you will both give an answer. The person closest to the right answer will win the tickets. We'll get Darren to answer first, and then Mike. Good luck, gentlemen.
Can he go first? No, I'm just kidding. I'll go first. I'll play fair.
They're arguing over who goes first.
It's in the rules, man. You got to go first.
All right, fellas. I ask you this. How many hairs are there in the average adult human body?
Oh, my. Come on, Darren.
Darren?
I'm going to say 10,000.
All right.
Darren says 10,000. Mike?
I'm going to say 10,001.
Bastard.
Technique.
I mean, it's legal, but it's questionable. Tony, what's the answer?
Correct answer is 5 million.
Yo!
Right.
No!
I mean, yeah. I mean,
5 million.
I mean, if you've done some manscaping and you're bald.
Yeah.
All right.
Man. I mean, Mike, terrible answer, but better than Darren's, incredibly enough.
Fantastic reaction, however.
Really good reaction. So, Mike, you got the tickets, brother. Golden Smog, November 15th at First Ave. I'll be there. Zepp will be there. Tony's going to be there. Ryder's going to be there. At least they say they're going to be there. I don't have a choice. I have to be there. So we'll look for you that night. Have a great time. Gentlemen, thank you both for playing. Very well done.
Yeah.
Hey,
man. You got it.
Thank you for not scheduling it on a Wednesday night.
What's that?
Thank you for not scheduling it on a Wednesday night.
Well, let me tell you how it went. Hey, we're thinking of doing a gig. You want to play it? I said, is it a Friday or a Saturday? It's the first things out of my mouth. Then yes. Yeah. We did a couple acoustic gigs this past summer, and one of them was on a Sunday night. And I was like, and I'm going into it going, why did I say, but it was right before we had a week off. So it was like, okay. Oh, thank God. It was like an acoustic night it's acoustic, so I'm not working hard, and we'll be done by 9:15, and I'm already like, but it's a Sunday night. Oh my God, I can't do this. Hey, good morning to our friends up in Wyoming, Minnesota.
Oh, yeah. There's a great reason to stop into Wyoming these days. The Dead End Hayride.
Freaky.
Yeah, that's one of the good ones. I've been down to Screamtown. I haven't been up to the Dead End Hayride. Maybe to work that into my weekend.
The Dead End Hayride. Doesn't, I mean, that's what's in a name? A lot.
It's Minnesota's award-winning haunted event.
Seems so final.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
A fact. At least 5 people die every year on the Dead End Hayride.
Oh, okay.
Never to be heard from again. I just made that up.
You should put that in their ads.
I mean, the Google reviewer, tonight was my first night at the Dead End Hayride, and I will say it did not disappoint.
Nice.
Yeah.
You know as well as I do, if they advertised it as every year at least one person doesn't return, people be like, oh, I'm getting on that thing.
Oh, hell yeah.
I'll show you. I'll show you. The more, the scarier you make something, the more someone's going to step up and prove that they can handle it.
Yeah,
I bought a windbreaker at a Goodwill at a thrift store in the late 80s. A red button down, just a windbreaker. And it said on the back, Mableton Boxing Club heavyweight state champ.
Sweet.
And I paid 75 cents for it. And it had boxing gloves on the chest. It was some boxing club's heavyweight guy had worn this at one time. Yeah. And I wore it out that night to a bar. And
to a bar?
to a bar because I was just I just had it on.
Sure, it's
and about
cool.
the time a third person gave me a look and challenged me, I'm like, what is happening tonight? And I'm like, oh, wait, I have a jacket that says I'm a heavyweight state champion boxer, and you want to fight me.
Yeah.
Like, wow, we're just a really, really, really ass-backward species, aren't we?
It's odd how that happens in bars. Some guys drink, and
I know, you're looking around, now you want to fight me? Because you think, what if I actually had been a boxing champion?
Yeah, about the third or fourth time they get shot down by a gal, they're looking around for the boxing, for the
exactly
champ.
what it is.
They want to take a shot at the title.
Like, that's the weirdest thing ever. I'm like, the last guy I would fight is the guy wearing that jacket, just to be safe. But
even someone picked a fight with Mike Tyson.
But that's true.
That happened on the street.
Mitch Blood Green.
Yep.
I used to see Evander Holyfield around a lot in the day, back in the Atlanta days in the 90s. And he had a jacket once. Was it an Atlanta Hawks game? He was sitting right in front of me. And he was wearing a leather, like a bomber jacket.
Yeah, okay.
And it said on the back in big gold script in the leather, Evander, the real deal Holyfield, undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, on his jacket. And then the sleeves on the wrist side, they were laced up like boxing gloves, in the leather jacket.
Right.
And
This
then down each arm was a series, all the flags of all the countries that recognized him as the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. It was the coolest jacket I've ever seen. And there's only one guy that could actually wear it, and it was him. And and I'm looking at him like, that man right there, I could reach out and touch him. He's right in front of me. He's the heavyweight champion of the world. The entire planet recognizes him. Sure. And I'm looking around, and I was thinking about my jacket, and I'm like, I guarantee you there's at least one guy in this arena right now that wants to fight him. Of course. Just someone like, I could take Holyfield. He ain't that tough. And I'm just thinking, this guy gets into a ring with another man, and no one on the planet can beat him in a boxing match.
That's right.
I just stared at the back of his head in absolute awe. Holy crap! It was like being next to a beetle. I was like, he's the heavyweight champion of the world. He's just sitting here like a human being. What the hell?
And you spilled mustard on his jacket.
Yeah, so I had to have it dry cleaned.
I was just looking at those ears, thinking, one day, someone's gonna get a bite out of that thing. Oh man! Hey, the Vikings got a ball game tonight, Thursday night football. So perfect timing for our buddy Sam Ekstrom. Hang tight.
Connect with us on the KQ Talk and Text line. 651-989-ROCK. That's 651-989-ROCK. 92 KQRS.
All right, let's do it, Minnesota Vikings fans. Sam Ekstrom has covered the Vikings for the past, 11 years or so. 10 years, 2014. How many years ago was that? It's a long time. Host and executive producer with the Locked On Sports Minnesota Podcast Network, providing daily Vikings analysis on YouTube, as well as your preferred podcast feed. Sam, good morning. Thursday night football in LA, and I guess just really a scouting trip to get our arms around our new quarterback, Matthew Stafford, if I can believe Twitter. Sam, what on earth is happening where the world suddenly thinks the Vikings are trading for Matthew Stafford? How did this all start?
Yeah, I don't think there's great amounts of credibility to this report. There have been some reports already refuting it coming out. I don't see any world where it happens. But, hey, there's a lot of aggregation. There's a lot of fake tweets out there. Mm-hmm. I don't even know the source of this, to be honest with you, but I'm going to stamp my flag here and say it's not going to happen. Right. But, hey, it's a good little discussion topic to kill 10 minutes.
Well, boy, that's the truth right there. I thought, I didn't like that interception in the second quarter either, but my God, that's a bit of an overreaction. The loss to the Lions, yeah, it stings a little bit, but at the same time, if you're going to lose a game, that one makes sense. The Lions are pretty solid this year. What were your thoughts watching that game? Was there any red flags as we move forward? Did you see anything where you thought, oh, there it is, there's the Achilles heel, any of that kind of stuff, or did you feel pretty good about it?
Yeah, I think number one concern would be the defensive exposure that happened in the middle part of that game. Mm-hmm. Just the avalanche wasn't able to be stopped. Once the Lions got going, the Vikings didn't really have an answer for it. And it feels a little different when it's 4 consecutive touchdown drives. If those touchdowns are spread out throughout the game, maybe you look at it a little differently. But the fact that they could not stop them 4 straight times down the field, long drives, using the running game, using the passing game, protecting the quarterback well. That was a concerning stretch of football that was played. On the offensive side, I think you're kind of decently satisfied. If you're a Vikings fan, you hate the interception. You mentioned that, Steve. And you hate that you couldn't milk the clock out at the end of the game. You had a 3rd and 4.
Yep.
If you convert that, you are on the doorstep of victory. Make the play. And the difference in the game was, Detroit finished drives. They scored touchdowns, and the Vikings settled for a lot of field goals. So I think that while you can nitpick both sides of the ball, you took on maybe the best team in the NFL. The Lions are unbelievably good with very few weaknesses, and you had the game in your hand with 3 minutes to go. So I think there is some good stuff to take away from this game. It was a wonderful football game, epic football game, and you get them again in Week 18, and I think it's still going to be a nip-and-tuck battle for the division.
Sam, was I the only guy here on this phone call who was like, just please let that kid try to kick a 70-yarder. Let's go at the end of the game. I think I was praying they would get that ball down in time and set it up. I wanted to see him go for it.
Well, and if not that, at least throw the Hail Mary.
Yeah, something.
At least get the thrill of having the ball thrown in the air. No, it sounds like they were willing to let him try 68, but not 73. If you're willing to let him try 68, why not? Why not give him a crack from 73? Try to shatter the NFL record.
Yeah, that kid's on a roll, though. What a kicker.
Yeah, he doesn't know any better. He doesn't know he's not supposed to make 73-yard field goals. He might just go out and do it. Well, let's look ahead to the Rams tonight. The only thing that bothers me about this is how could they possibly lose this game on the road in prime time? And those are the games that worry you a little bit. But this Rams defense is pretty lousy. I think they get a cornerback back, but otherwise they're near the bottom in pass defense and rush defense. The offense should really wind it up tonight for the Vikes, shouldn't they?
Yes, they should. If you look at the defensive stats for the Rams, you're scratching your head at some of these players. You've never heard of them. I mean, this was a Super Bowl defense a few years ago, and they've gotten really young, and it's basically anonymous. There are not a lot of recognizable names on that side of the ball. These are not the Rams of the late 2010s. This is a kind of a new generation over there. They barely got by Las Vegas on Sunday, and that's a bad football team. They needed a late, miraculous rally to beat the Niners earlier in the year. They've had a hard time winning football games and scoring points and stopping people, too. So I think this could be a really nice night for the Vikings offense, as you said. But I look at the Rams offense when you've got Stafford and you've got Cooper Kupp coming back. Oh, yeah. That's enough to give you pause. That's enough to make you worry, especially after the way your defense was exposed against Detroit. So as long as the Rams don't beat you in a shootout, I think that there's a really good chance the Vikings win this game. They get back on track, and then they've got kind of a mini bye going into a very forgiving stretch of schedule.
Yeah, they certainly do. I mean, you got to feel good about the fact that they got flexed to next Sunday night. I mean, that alone says that not only do we enjoy this team, but obviously NBC feels like they're a good watch.
Yeah, and I looked at the games next week, and I don't think there were a plethora of options for NBC. There weren't a lot of scintillating matchups, so they said, hey, there's a winning team in the AFC. There's a really good team in the NFC. They're playing each other. Let's put them on national TV. And the last time they played, there was a 33-point greatest comeback in NFL history. So maybe it'll happen again.
Justin Jefferson, I love when I hear him say things like, I'm sick of these 80, 90-yard games. He's got to get over the hump of 100 yards. That's definitely my plan. Every week, at least once, I don't intend to do it, but I scream at something he does on the field. I don't even have a question, Sam. I just marvel at that kid. He is when they put the stat up about Detroit, 8 games over 1,000 yards receiving. It just boggles my mind how singular a talent Justin Jefferson really is.
Yeah, he had a quiet 81 yards against Detroit on Sunday, and in that quiet 81 yards, he had a really excellent catch over the middle, kind of caught it with his fingertips. He had that touchdown grab, which I thought was marvelous in its own right. and he had a sneaky great catch on the sideline that got wiped out due to penalty, but that would have been his best catch of the day. And he did that all in a quiet day. Just a run-of-the-mill, 81 yards. He still is one of the best receivers in the league statistically, and it doesn't feel like he's exploded yet. Maybe tonight's the night against this porous defense. We'll see what kind of plan the Rams have for him.
Now,
excited for it.
Now, is Hockenson going to play tonight?
I think it would make sense that he does play. They benched him on Sunday, and I suspect that they didn't want him to play 2 games in 5 days.
Okay.
But if he plays today, then he gets 10 days off.
Yeah.
That seems like a pretty good setup for a guy coming back from this type of injury. Maybe it's not a full allotment. Maybe it's 30, 35 snaps, and then they ramp him up after that. But I think that you got to get him back. He's been practicing now for darn near 3 weeks. He's basically he's said that he's meeting all the benchmarks. He's getting all the tests, correct physically. So I think tonight's the night.
All right.
Sam Ekstrom's with us on the KQ Morning Show. Any Sam Darnold concerns? Does he seem to you to be a guy who's getting more and more comfortable? I mean, I don't mean to belabor the one bad pick, but like you said, that drive when we really needed the first down, we didn't make it happen. Are there any cracks appearing on the facade, or do things feel like they're just, or is it all things moving forward and we still think Sam's got it figured out?
Yeah, I think we've seen generally the same script from Sam Darnold in most of the games this year. There are going to be some great plays, some great throws downfield, but you're going to have 1 or 2 boneheaded throws that could cost you. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, it did cost them against Detroit. They weren't able to recover from that. I think that there's a lot of arm talent in there, and it's just a matter of mitigating the bad stuff, mitigating the bad decisions. And I know Kevin O'Connell preaches that to him constantly. I'm not too worried about his decline. I mean, I thought he actually had a really nice bounce back from the Jets game in London, which was a struggle. I thought that the Lions game was pretty acceptable, except for the one bad throw. And if they can, score 29 points, they're going to win most games. They couldn't against Detroit, but that's a good total to shoot for.
Yeah, it certainly is. All right, Sam. So big game tonight, Thursday night. Everybody will be watching this Vikings team. What do you think we're going to see? Give me a prediction.
I'm going to go 27 in Minnesota. I think it's fairly comfortable. I think the defense gets back on track.
Boy, and to your point, that mini bye, boy, get a Thursday night win on the road before coming home on a Sunday night to play the Colts. That's going to be a really nice 10 days if they get that win tonight. This team is looking good. Beyond the Lions, is there anybody else in the NFC that gives you a pause, that you think, don't want to see them in the postseason?
And they might all be in the NFC North at this point, right. or the Commanders. I mean, the Commanders are probably the next best team outside of NFC North foes that we've seen. I guess if the Eagles get hot, I think the Eagles may be showing some signs of life. But the NFC West has been disappointing. The NFC South, I think, is going to cannibalize itself. Nobody really scares me there. Yeah, the NFC North is having a historic start to the season, and the Vikings still have to play the Bears twice, Packers again, Lions again. Those are all going to be battles.
Yeah, it is. Well, it's so far so good, man. What an exciting season it's been. And again, like you said, looking at that schedule, we get past tonight. We got a nice little a whole bunch of games that we should absolutely win. I know we'll all be clenched by the time December rolls around for sure. Those NFC North games are going to be fantastic. Sam, it's always a pleasure, brother. We appreciate it.
Hey, enjoy the game tonight, everyone.
Yep, we'll talk to you next week. Sam Ekstrom right there on the KQ Morning Show.
I was just going to say, probably the first time O'Connell and McVay have coached against each other since they won a Super Bowl together.
Is it?
Yeah, because O'Connell was McVay's offensive coordinator when they won with Stafford, won the Super Bowl.
So that checks out.
I don't know if they've played against each other since then. I don't know that matters in this game or if that's an X factor, but just
I think so.
Fun fact.
Yeah, I mean, it's always, O'Connell right off that tree. Those guys are very close, and And it's always interesting to have a reason to look at the post-game handshake.
Yeah. There you go.
Hey, Motley Crue just announced a brand new Las Vegas residency. It's going to go down at Dolby Live at Park MGM next spring. We would love to send you out there. One winner is going to score a trip for two to Las Vegas. That is going to include round-trip air, a 2-night stay at Park MGM, and 2 tickets to Motley Crue, the Las Vegas residency. 10 runner-up winners are going to get Motley Crue's new EP canceled on vinyl, plus the Dr. Feelgood 35th Anniversary Limited Edition box set. Text the national keyword SCREAM. SCREAM! To 95819 for a chance to win. Do it. Top 5 at 9. Coming up, hang tight.
It's the KQ Morning Show, 92 KQRS. You're listening to the KQ Morning Show. Steve, Zep, Tony, and Ryder on 92 KQRS.
Good Thursday morning. It is October the 24th, and we got a few things we want to share with you. Your top 5 at 9. Let's get into it. Elizabeth Francis passed away in Houston, Texas, Tuesday night, surrounded by family, peacefully in her sleep. She was 115 years old.
Oh my God.
The woman was born in 1909. Holy smokes. 1909.
What was going on in 09, I wonder? We discussed, you had William Taft in the White House.
What?
I mean.
Oh, yeah, that.
How old are you?
I have no idea.
110.
What?
Imagine talking to someone this past weekend, which you could have done with this woman, Elizabeth Francis, and saying, so I guess you remember hearing that World War I had started, and she'll go, well, I know when we went over because I was 7 or 8.
Right.
I mean, I remember tons of things from being 7 and 8 years old in the 1970s. Yeah. She remembers, like, over there, like when that song was written.
Yeah, remember when the Archduke got shot? That was everyone was talking about that.
Archduke Ferdinand.
Yeah, around the old water cooler.
Duke Ellington got shot?
Duke Ellington.
Are you kidding me?
Elizabeth
Francis, 115 years old, and now with Elizabeth out of the way, finally, there's a woman in Pennsylvania who's 114, who's now the oldest living person in the United States.
Yeah. What's your day look like when you're 114?
Well, they say that the first person to make it to 150 has already been born. So imagine being 115 years old and someone goes, you got 35 years left.
So if I was going to make it to 150 or say even 115, I could start that 401k now.
Oh, yeah, no, get on
All
it.
Right, yeah.
Absolutely.
I would have time.
After the show today, I'm going to... I got some graphs here. Compounding interest. It's your friend.
Thank you.
Number 4 on your top 5 at 9, $700,000 worth of gold was just taken from Gift Jewelers in the Southdale Center. $700,000 worth of gold in a heist, the stuff of Hollywood. Tunnels dug, holes bored through walls, people sneaking in from a vacant store next door, going through the walls into this jewelry store during business hours.
Now, security cameras disabled.
Gift Jewelers was closed, but the mall was open. Plenty of other shops open, plenty of people walking around, and some people who apparently did know what they were doing broke in through the walls, got under cabinets, and left with, as I said, $700,000 worth of gold.
I mean, that's got to be a lot. I don't know what the price of gold is. I don't know what these gold necklaces go for. It's been a while since I've had chains. Never have had chains. But that's got to be a hell of a haul, a big bag of gold.
It would seem to be the case,
and uninsured, as we've talked about. For some reason, the owner admitted that this was uninsured.
Owner Omar Muhammad thinks they knew the layout ahead of time.
I mean, I don't want to say it, but I think it was in-house plan. I mean, some people has to know the floor plans. I think someone already been here. They may even taken some pictures. They know exactly what cameras goes where. They knew that.
And he's got all those mannequins that are just like the neck and the sternum looking things. He's got a lot of those laying around.
Yeah.
Why did they take those?
That's the fun part.
Yeah, right. How are they going to display them at their new jewelry store they're opening up at the corner of Franklin and I don't know what. Hennepin. I just don't get that. I have, crappy apartment insurance. There probably isn't $1,000 worth of stuff in my apartment. But you have a $700,000 worth of gold, and all right, well, good luck to you.
Yeah, no kidding. We will keep you updated because I'm fascinated to find out who took. They're going to get caught. I mean, they
had to be in the store. They had to be on a security camera because they had to be in the store before, or a mall employee, perhaps, or
Paul Blart. Yeah.
Paul Blart's on it.
Where was he?
Getting that second career up and running. Number 3 on your top 5 at 9, Shohei Ohtani, the Los Angeles Dodger this year. First player in baseball history to go 50-50. 50 home runs and 50 stolen bases in the same season. The ball that put him over the hump, the 50th home run ball, was caught, or I should say was squabbled over in the stands. There was a scrum, and a dude came away with the ball. And then another dude sued the dude and said, that dude took my ball. I'm the dude who should have the ball. And now we got 2 dudes saying it's their ball. They're still dealing with this. There's a lawsuit. I'll give you some more of the specifics. But the one thing they agreed on is we'll go ahead and auction this ball off.
Yeah.
Yesterday at auction, $4.4 million, specifically $4.39 million. Someone, the new owner, the person who paid $4.4 million for it, wishes not to be identified. Makes sense to me. So the opening bid was $500,000. It went up to, again, almost $4.5 million. Someone's got that ball, but the lawsuit continues. Who's going to get all that money? Well, there's going to be the auction house takes a cut, I'm sure. Yeah. And then now some lawyers are going to get paid on the end of this.
Yeah.
An 18-year-old kid named Max Mattis. It was his 18th birthday when he was at the game. He claims he had the ball in his hand. He claims that another dude named Christian Zacek, quote, trapped my arm in between his legs and wrangled the ball out of my hand.
Oh, wow.
There's video of the scrum, and we just watched it. You never really see the ball in the kid's hand.
No, it's not like he picks it up, and is holding it in front of him or puts it above his hand. I read one account where this guy jumped on the kid's back. That clearly did not happen. Mm-hmm. There were several people. It was like in a patio area, so it went under some tables and chairs, and everybody's scrumming around there. The kid's hand is down there. That guy is also in that same spot. It's kind of like it's a fumble. Whoever comes up with it,
I'd like to weigh in as the new unofficial sports czar.
Okay.
If it's not caught on the fly, no one gets it. What's the matter with you guys? It's a home run ball. Catch the damn thing.
Exactly. And why the hell would you buy a baseball for $4.5 million and not want anyone to know about it?
I'm not really sure.
Yeah.
That's a wild one.
Yeah. Now I'm suspicious of all the billionaires I know. Did you buy it?
Just now?
Yeah.
Just now you're suspicious?
Well, Jeff, did you buy it? Come on.
Whoever says no.
Jeffy B, did you?
If they say no, it's going to be that, then you know they did it.
I'll be more suspicious. Come on, let me see it. Let's play catch.
18th birthday, claiming you caught the ball, suing to say that it is truly my ball. The lawsuit states that the young lad would be irreparably harmed if he doesn't maintain possession of the ball. If it was able to be sold, it's a unique, one-of-a-kind item.
Oh, what the baloney.
It's already been auctioned off. I don't know. This is a bit of a stretch, but I mean, what you guys just can't split the money? You got 2 guys saying that you had it?
But right. They'll end up, the lawyers will end up with that money before they'll sit down and be civil about it. By the way, it's the most expensive baseball now.
Yeah.
The second most expensive baseball was the home run ball, Mark McGwire's 70th from 98, sold for just over $3 million. Who the hell paid $3 million for that? Nobody cares about that ball anymore.
Do you remember the guy that caught that ball? He said the stadium, it's the 70th home run ball.
Yeah.
It's a record. Or it was either that one or it was the 60. It was either when he broke Maris's record or it was number 70.
Okay.
The kid who caught the ball was, the Cardinals sent people up there to go talk to him. Mm-hmm. And he said, they said, hey, we'll give you another ball. They're like, that's for the Hall of Fame. Like, they try. They can't.
Yeah, then buy it at the auction.
And the kid said, I'll give it to you guys, but I want to go back and meet Mark after the game. And McGuire said, no.
Oh, man.
Didn't meet him.
No.
And then the kid said, oh, well, then I'll keep it. And then he sold it for $3 million.
Yeah.
He literally said, I will give it to Mark McGwire if I get a chance to meet him. And McGwire was like, nah, I'm not having that.
Anyways, had a needle in his ass at the time.
Yeah, he did, yeah. Hey, man, these pockmarks didn't make themselves. Number 2 on your top 5 at 9. I never liked McGwire. He's a creep.
Yeah.
Netflix has got a new documentary airing in January, the Jerry Springer Netflix effect. It's called Jerry Springer Fights Camera Action.
Yes.
Listen to the writer. Yes. You ask yourself, what if I had a time machine? Where would I go? I said earlier in the show, I'd go to the Apollo 1962 to watch James Brown. Ryder would go to a taping of the Jerry Springer show.
Yes, and it would be, I Married a Horse. How can you go, are you not entertained?
No.
I Married a Horse.
I'm going to be entertained when Tony plays that back at the most inconvenient moments.
Who's ready to party?
Yeah. She married a horse, for crying out loud. I just feel like that show was its own documentary. Where's the documentary going to go?
I'm not really
we got to
sure.
dive even deeper into, I would say, I slept with 251 guys trying to set a record. I mean, how do you not want to know more about this?
Was that a drop?
Bring that music down just a tad, Ryder.
What?
What a clean copy of that. Take 2.
God.
All right, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I feel like the show, it was all there on the show. I don't know how sensational the documentary could be.
Oh, man, I'm just bummed this is coming out when we're not on vacation, so I can watch it on repeat. I'm excited.
It's always, I love the fact that every time you see Jerry Springer, no matter what, like this documentary, he died last year, there's never been a reference without saying, and remember, he was the mayor of Cincinnati at one point.
That's right, he was.
Like, man, there's a lot of side effects to all that weird chili they eat down there, I guess. Number 1 on your top 5 at 9 is going to be with you momentarily because I'm going to stop right now and say good morning, Stillwater, Minnesota. One of my favorite spots.
Yeah, I mean, what's not to love about good old Stillwater?
Gorgeous, my God. And this time of year, forget it.
Who's ready to party?
Stillwater is.
I know when I'm looking for an outrageously expensive old beer sign, that's where I go.
Damn straight.
Do some antiquing.
Oh, my God. Number 1 on your top 5 at 9, the Vikings are ready to party tonight in LA playing the Rams. This should be a win. I know people, it's funny for me now, still obviously 2 years in town. This is my 3rd season watching the Vikings. I got here towards the end of the 23 season, or 22 season, I should say. And I've had a lot of conversations about this football team in the last couple of years with a lot of long-suffering Vikings fans, and I'm feeling in the air I'm feeling the fan base that inevitable they're waiting for the shoe to drop. It's like, and the Lions game, that wasn't it, because that's a great team. That's a lot of people's Super Bowl pick. Losing to the Lions is not a devastating thing.
No, not at all.
But like, if they go out to LA and lose to a pretty rotten Rams team now, then I'm just telling you, Vikings fans, I believe I'm not going to be sucked into your vortex of I've been deep fried and battered and chewed up and spat out by this team for 60 years. This is a really good football team, and the schedule is really working to their favor as well. Are they Super Bowl ready? I'm not going to say that yet, but boy, they're really good.
Yeah.
It's not. I think this is a better team that 2 years ago when they won every game, but they won every single score game. They had that crazy fluke season, a great record, but you could kind of tell they weren't as good. They just kept getting break after break after break. That's not happening now. This team's beating the snot out of people.
Yeah, they are, and there are no gimme games in the NFL. There are no ever gimme games in the NFL. The NFL has taught us otherwise. Just when you think that you've got one in the bag, believe me, my betting account, I can show you in the negative now. But however, I mean, you want to go out and see this offense do well against a poor defense, and you want to see this defense get back on track a little bit.
Yes.
Against a pretty good offense. Cooper Kupp coming back, and Stafford, can throw the ball around still.
Absolutely. I'm looking very forward to it. I like a Thursday night football game myself. So let's get back on. Let's get off the schneid, I guess is what we would say.
Oh, the Vikings.
Yeah.
There they are.
I'm going to be watching Cooper Kupp tonight and picturing him in black and gold as I watch him play.
Oh, that's right. That's the other rumor. That's the other one flying around.
End up with Williams off the Jets probably, but anyway.
I'm looking forward to it.
Go Vikes.
If I told you you need to be at least 21, you're going to have to pass a background check, you're going to have to pass a drug test, and you have to show proof of medical insurance. You may be thinking, well, okay, what sort of job am I signing up for?
Yeah.
No, you would be needing to show all that if you want to experience a haunted house in Tennessee.
Oh.
There is a haunted house in Tennessee that requires, again, 21 or over, you have to pass a background check, you have to pass a drug test, and you have to prove that you have medical insurance. It's called McCamey Manor. This guy down in Tennessee, Russ McCamey, has been operating this thing for years. Anyone who gets through the entire experience, which can take a couple of hours, will win $20,000, and no one's ever done it.
No one's ever done it.
$20,000 to survive a haunted house experience. Brave thrill seekers try. Sometimes they've been submerged in water, trapped in small boxes, tormented by live tarantulas for hours on end.
I see a guy here, they dumped a box of snakes on his head.
Oh,
yes.
Yuck.
McCamey,
Steve's tapping out.
The guy, McCamey, says, I describe it as a mental game or a survival boot camp.
Yeah, this sounds like something they put special forces through. You hear about some of the crazy stuff, especially the interrogation techniques and that sort of thing.
For the SEALs.
Those kind of deals.
If you plan to visit, there's a 40-page waiver that you must sign that includes this. Your hair may be chopped off. Dentistry may be done.
What the?
You may have a tooth extracted.
Oh, no.
And then he also insists everyone watch a 2-hour video before going. The video is entitled, "And Then There Were None." It's a compilation of former contestants, all of whom failed to complete the haunted experience.
Yeah, we're listening to a little bit of sound from it. This isn't a promo video. This is people being filmed, and they're actually going through this. Not actors. Oh, lots of vomiting, by the way. Sounds like a great first date, I think.
Doesn't it?
Hey, honey, we had a thing here called the Soap Factory. In fact, it's still over there, the Soap Factory. I think it's
Northeast.
Yeah, right. The old Purity Soap Factory, and was a fantastic haunted house for many years. In fact, if you didn't have your ticket purchased by the beginning of October, you weren't getting in.
Wow.
You were having to scalp a ticket from someone, and they sold hundreds, maybe thousands of tickets a night. This thing ran around, I think, most of the week, but it was a tough ticket to get. But you got in, you had to sign a waiver, not to this degree, but they could touch you and do things. And I remember the first time I went in there with a group of people, immediately a gimp in the full gimp suit, full thing.
Oh my God.
Grabs me, starts sobbing and slow dancing with me, and we did that for 5 minutes. Now, I know what you're thinking. 5 minutes, whatever. 5 minutes I'm like, all right, everybody's gone. They separate. I didn't get to see the rest of my party while I was in there. I went through it by myself, but I'm like, all right, dude, I get it. All right. Okay. And he just keeps sobbing and dancing with it.
You guys keep in touch?
We did. I got a boner. I'm going to be honest with you. Right. No. So I take a first date down there. Lovely lady. We're friends first. And Katie, very classy person. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. You, Zep? I don't know. But she's super classy. Think college professor, classy, glasses. I mean, just a wonderful woman. We go down to the soap. Oh, you're going to love this. We're going to the soap factory. I take her down to the soap factory. She walks in, and permanent marker, they write whore on her. Just immediately. Yeah,
where?
Immediately. I think down her arm, or maybe and maybe on her head, her forehead. I'm like, oh, that's permanent. It's going to be on there for a while. Had another date I took in there, and she was lost in there for 45 minutes. I kept saying, yeah, I think.
Oh, boy.
They're like, she'll be out. She'll be out. And I'm like, I've been out for 45 minutes. They serve beer. I'm having a beer on the patio. I'm like, I don't think she's coming out. They're like, oh, she'll be out. She'll be out. And she came out a little traumatized. But nothing like this torture chamber in Tennessee. This one is... I might have to get a road trip going.
A petition has been signed 193,000 times, people trying to get this shut down. It says this is a kidnapping and torture house. It's not a haunted house.
Yeah.
Several people have had to seek professional psychiatric help and medical care for extensive injuries.
Good.
Road trip. Let's go.
I know. I do have a bad tooth. Can I tell them which tooth I would like extracted if we're going that direction?
I tell you, there was a time in my life when I would have probably thought, yeah, I'm going to get in there. And that's a long time ago. Yeah. I don't want to know anything about this place. You drop a box of snakes within 100 yards of me, we got problems. You put it in the same room, I am out. Believe you me.
No one's finished this thing.
Never has. All right, fair enough.
Get the KQ Morning Show podcast wherever you listen. 92 KQRS.